Welcome to The Hookup with me, Brandon Steiner. Today's show is all about the New York City Police Department. I love them. They're the best in the world. Unfortunately, too many of them make the ultimate sacrifice. On December 20th, 2014, officers Ramos and Liu were gunned down while on duty in their police cruiser in Brooklyn. They were from two different precincts working together that day. I decided that in honor of their sacrifice and their fellow officers' courage, I would hook up both precincts with memorial walls dedicated to their bravery. And make no mistake about it, these are some of the very bravest people. Officer Wenjian Liu is the only son of Chinese immigrants. He came to America at 12 years old, learned the language, and eventually joined the police department for 7 years. He leaves behind a devastated mother and father, as well as a loving widow, who he married just 2 months prior to his murder. She wants him to be remembered for his dedication to the American dream and to serving his adopted community in Brooklyn.
My husband always remember that he is a cop. But he will always remember that his responsibility is to serve the community, protect the people on the streets. And first thing that I remember is he always never late to work, and he always go to work really early and right there because he said, I don't want to be late. I want to be there on the spot on time. I'm really proud of him to be a part of the New York police officer.
I want
to thank all the New York City police officers. Especially want to thank the 84 Precinct and all the members of the 84 Precinct for their all the love and support to our family. I'm proud of my son that he chose his career as an NYPD officer and to serve the community and to protect the community. Even though he sacrificed his life, we hope the law enforcement and the community can build a safe, better relationship to get this to build up a safe and a secure environment for everybody. So because we don't want to see other family to lose their loved one, and don't want them to go through what have been went through. It's very painful to love the loved one.
It was with this kind of sacrifice in mind that we came to the 84th and 79th precincts in Brooklyn. We were warmly welcomed by the men and women of these precincts, as well as Police Commissioner Bill Bratton himself.
I want to thank Mr. Steiner from Steiner Sports for the participation in the creation of this, the idea of a memorial wall in a precinct station house built around the idea of sports and sports memorabilia as a way of attempting to make our police facilities even more welcoming to the public, as well as an environment in which our officers can also feel an even more special relationship to their precincts.
Well, thank you. Just to be brief, Commissioner Liu and the Ramos family. We love the police. I've always loved the police since the police department has just been critical for me. Growing up in Brooklyn, this is my hometown, and it's an honor to be here today, and there's always respect. We will adopt these two precincts, so we're here today, but we're not finished. We're going to be back to just create a positive energy through sports. So we're very grateful to be here today. Not only out of respect for the officers that were lost, but just for the entire department, for all the hard work that you do every day. I realize that it's so important, and I want to make sure that this place has as much positive energy from that I can bring to it that I possibly can. I brought a couple friends because we do this show called The Hookup, and we know that all the hard work would be kind of a little bit of a blessing to have a couple superstars come. So a Brooklyn guy in his own right, Willie Randolph, and the Warrior, Paul O'Neill.
There's nothing I can say up here to believe me to even touch the sorrow that's going on in this precinct, but to realize what you folks do and that these things do happen every single day. I am humbled to be here in front of you and just basically say thank you.
This is where I grew up. I grew up in Brownsville. I believe it's the 69th precinct. Is that the one near, I don't think it's changed, 73rd? Okay, yeah, I remember growing up as a kid there and playing PAL baseball. And that's why I got started playing in the Sandlot. So, you know, a lot of great memories. And, you know, growing up as a kid in New York, you know, we had this relationship with the neighborhood cops that, you know, was special to us. We knew them by names, and it was just, you know, we felt safe and protected always. So a lot of good memories, and good to be here. Let's have some fun today.
After the dedication, I got a chance to hear the Commissioner's thoughts about our hookup.
The NYPD and the police profession is an icon. And certainly here in New York, in the sports world, we're blessed with many icons. The Yankees, the Rangers, the Knicks, the Mets, that no shortage of sports icons. And so this coming together of the two, the NYPD and the sports teams, is symbolically very important. But it's also part of the strength of New York. And so this idea of the memorial wall, it's focused on bringing attention to the recent losses we've had in the department. But it's also the idea that when the cops come to work, that it's something that makes New York special, so they get to see that something special when they're standing here at roll call.
What can we do to heal, and what can we do to get the gap bridge between police and community?
Well, sports is one of those things that helps to heal. That when any of these teams is in a championship race, the whole town gets excited about it. Similarly, the town gets excited about when the NYPD and our race against crime, that we're getting crime down. People get excited about that because it makes their lives better. So sports, entertainment, making lives better. Policing, keeping the city safe, making lives better. So that's where we have a shared goal, if you will, to make the lives of every New Yorker better.
And we also got a chance to speak to Maritza Ramos. Her husband was killed alongside Officer Lou that fateful day. Officer Ramos was married, father of two, set to become a volunteer chaplain. Mrs. Ramos has been forced to endure the tragedy of having her husband, who loved his family more than life itself, taken away from her. She's shown the type of courage and strength that mothers and wives associated with the NYPD are known for. Being a cop's wife is tough, but being a cop's widow requires a sacrifice that no one should ever have to endure.
How tough is this loss? You know, and just being here today, what's the feeling?
It's really hard because he worked in this precinct, so it brings back like a lot of hurt inside, knowing that he's not here anymore. And having to pass by the scene where it happened today was really hard for me. But what you guys are doing is great, showing support to the officers of the 7-9 and the 8-4, because they're going out there every day and putting their lives at risk. So this is great that you show them support.
Absolutely, we're not done yet. Tell me one thing about your husband that we probably don't know that was something special.
He was an amazing father, an amazing husband, an amazing man of God, and he would have given his shirt off his back to anyone. So he's greatly missed.
Can we invite you to a Yankee game with your family?
Definitely.
It'd be a pleasure to have you there with your family.
It would be an honor.
What are people watching? What can they do to make things better?
I think they need to realize that the police are there to help them, and if we didn't have police, we'd be in a lot of trouble. And they're not always the enemy. They're here to protect us. And men and women get up every day and they leave their homes and they put on the uniform to protect us, and they don't know if they're coming back to their families, just like my husband didn't come back to me and my children, and now we don't have our husband and our father. So everyone needs to realize that they're not the enemy. The police are here to help everyone.